In this video, I'm going to show you how to use VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, and make sure you watch to the end for a couple of tricks and shortcuts as well. And please also make sure you hit subscribe to my channel below for more Excel tips and tutorials. So here we have a cell that we want to be able to put a person's name, and from that, automatically pull that person's country of location, age, and membership status in the cells below. For this example, we'll use Flynn Williams, whose data appears in the table below. We can achieve this task using VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup. It allows us to look up a value within a table of cells and generate a value from a specified column from that table. So the syntax for this formula is VLOOKUP. The first entry is the lookup value, in this case Flynn Williams. The second is the table array, so which table or what area of the spreadsheet is this information coming from. The third part is the column index number, so the table has a number of different columns. In this case, we have 4 columns. Which column are we trying to generate that number from, or that figure from? And finally, it also allows us to choose whether we want an exact or an approximate match. In this case, we're going to want an exact match, so we're going to put false. In this first example, we want to know which country Flynn Williams is from. The lookup value we can pull from C5, which is where we've put the name Flynn Williams. The table array is the table below. We can lock these into place by pressing F4 on our keyboard. For column index number, we want to look at which column the information we're trying to pull is from. In this case, country is in column 2. And, as mentioned before, we want an exact match, so we're going to put false. There, we can see from the table below that Flynn Williams is from Australia. Now we want to look up what age is Flynn Williams. Again, we put in VLOOKUP, and once again, the lookup value is Flynn Williams. The table array, once again, is the table below, and we can lock that into place by pressing F4 on our keyboard. In this case, the age is in column 3 of the table, so we can put 3, and once again, we want an exact match, so we're going to put false. We can see from the table below that Flynn Williams is 20 years old. Finally, we want to look up what membership status is Flynn Williams. The lookup value once again is in C5. The table array is the same as before. And in this case, the membership is in column 4. And again, we want an exact match, so we're going to put false. Now we're in a position that if we want to change the name in the name search cell, then the values below will update accordingly. HLOOKUP is similar to VLOOKUP, except it allows us to look up values horizontally. Otherwise, the syntax is virtually identical to VLOOKUP. Here, let's assume that the values from the previous example are presented to us with the names in the top row rather than in the first column. Once again, we're going to use the name Flynn Williams as the name search. Once again, Flynn's name appears in cell C5, and that becomes our lookup value. We can highlight the table array once again, and in this case, the country is in the second row as opposed to the second column with VLOOKUP. So we enter 2. And once again, we want an exact value, so we put false. You can see the similarities with VLOOKUP. Once again, for age, we type in HLOOKUP, and the lookup value is in C5, we can lock that into place by pressing F4 on our keyboard. We highlight the table array, and now age is in row 3. Once again, we want an exact match, so we put in false. Good. There are shortcuts to this, and it doesn't need to be such a tedious process. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the formula from above down to membership, and you can see that I've now got 2 age values. All I need to do for the membership is change that figure to 4, and now it's looking up value in row 4. That's the first shortcut. The second shortcut is to replace the row index number altogether with the match function. Here I'm going to look up the value of the field that I want, in this case country. The lookup array is in the first column of this table. In other words, I'm going to be looking for the location of country within that array. And once again, I want an exact match, so I'm going to put 0. I can now drag this down, and it will look up the values in column B in column G. Now, as with VLOOKUP, I can change the values of the name, and the values in country, age, and membership will update accordingly. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and please subscribe for more Excel tips.